Sonny Styles, Arvell Reese, and David Bailey all dominated the combine on the first day. I'm going to talk about their performances. I'm going to talk about where I think they're going to go in the 2026 NFL draft after these performances. Get into some other stuff as well. Before I do, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video. Visit walterfootball.com for tons of content. We have 2026 and 2027 NFL mock drafts. We have tons of draft content, stock reports, big boards, prospect rankings, etc. We also have free agency signing grades for the upcoming free agency period in a couple weeks, and also trade grades. We graded the Jets Titans trade today, which I'll get into as well in this video because it has to do with the number 2 pick. So let's talk about it. So it's pretty amazing what Sonny Styles did today. We've never seen a combine performance like this before from a linebacker, and that's not exaggeration. He had a 10 out of 10 relative athletic score. I don't think I've ever seen that before. His numbers were he ran a 4.46 40 with a 1.56 split, 43.5-inch vertical, which is the best vertical ever recorded for a player of his size, an 11.2 broad jump, and he also had a good 3-cone time. And on top of that, he looked great in the drills and, from all accounts, performed well in the team interviews. So this guy had the perfect combine. And he's not the only one who did great. Obviously, there are a lot of great performances today, but guys who could go in the top 5. In addition to Styles, we also have Arvell Reese, who had a 4.47 40, so just a hundredth of a second slower than Styles, but still pretty amazing. 1.58 10-yard split. He looked great in the on-field drills. And then there was David Bailey, and you could see all these stock reports that we have on the site. So David Bailey wrote about him. He ran a 4.50 40, 1.62 10-yard split, 35 inches in the vertical, 10.9 in the broad jump. I would say out of the 3, he was the worst, but he still was great. So no knock on him there. So going to talk about where I think these guys are going to go in my 2026 NFL mock draft, which will be updated on I guess Tuesday coming up. So I can tell you where I have them right now. So in the previous update, I had Arvell Reese to the Jets at number 2. They have David Bailey to the Titans at number 4, and all the way down as Sonny Styles at number 15. Spoiler alert: he's not going to last to 15 in the next update. I've had Styles between 10 and 15. I thought 15 is kind of his floor. Tampa really needs a linebacker, and he just made so much sense for them. I also had him to the Bengals earlier. Just put Peter Woods up there, given that a defensive tackle who can get after the quarterback is more important than a linebacker. But after today, you have to say Styles is just going to go much higher than that. So it's kind of like brainstorming, where is he going to go? And I thought, okay, 8 to the Saints, I think would make a lot of sense if he's there. I can't imagine him he's just getting past the Saints. They have an older linebacker core, so that would make sense. And then I'm like, that I think that's even too late at this point. He's given how he's had great production at Ohio State, also tested so well and interviewed well. Like, this guy might go in the top 5, and I only say might because it's an off-ball linebacker position. These guys typically don't go that high, but when you have a draft class with only one good quarterback, or say one great quarterback, and kind of underwhelming in many other places, it just makes sense that he could go top 5. So let's start at the beginning here with number 2. So I don't think Styles will be the number 2 pick. I think it will be between Arvell Reese and David Bailey. I would lean toward Reese. He's more athletic, and I just think he makes more sense for this defense. And keep in mind, the Jets traded Jermaine Johnson today for T'Vondre Sweat. It was a trade between the Jets and the Titans. I actually liked the trade. Thought it was even for both teams. The Jets are kind of like in an awkward spot because with the number 2 pick, the top players available were the 2 edge rushers, and they already had Will McDonald and Jermaine Johnson. And it's like, okay, they're going to take a 3rd edge rusher, but now they fill a need with Sweat where they've really needed a nose tackle for a long time to help stop the run. They've had severe issues against the run for many years, so they've solved that problem, and they traded Johnson away to open up a spot for either Reese or Bailey. So it's going to be an edge rusher. I think it's Reese, but Bailey wouldn't surprise me either. I think Daniel Jeremiah said he was leaning toward Bailey, but right now I'm leaning toward Reese, and hopefully Charlie Campbell has some insight into this and can figure out who the Jets like more between the two. I don't think they can go wrong here. Both are amazing prospects. And then we get to number 3. So right now, the Cardinals taking Francis Mauigoa. That is not going to hold up in the next update. Charlie Campbell had a report saying that a lot of teams weren't like overly impressed, with the tackle class. They still said it was a good tackle class, but not where players are like locked into the top 10. I think we'll still see 1 or 2 tackles in the top 10, namely Mauigoa and Fano, provided what they do later in the combine. But I think Arizona will go pass rusher now, and of course we'll have some insight into Arizona later, as we usually do. But right now, I think they have to fix their defense. Andy Isco and I talked about it last night on a live stream when we're breaking down the team win totals. Arizona allowed, I think it was they allowed 37 or more points 7 times when Jacoby Brissett started for them, which is absurd. They can't function with that. Like you can put the best quarterback in the league into that offense, and they're going to lose a lot of games because of how bad that defense was. So they have to get after the quarterback, and I think Arizona takes whoever falls between Bailey and Reese. I think that'll be the pick to kind of pair that player with Josh Sweat, and you also have maybe Calais Campbell if he comes back on the defensive line. So that'll be a good start to rebuilding this defense. And then I think we get to number 4 with the Titans. I think that they acquired an edge rusher, and I wonder if they thought that there's a good chance that neither Bailey nor Reese would be available, because if the Jets and the Cardinals could certainly use those players. Then yeah, I mean, like, they're not going to be able to get one. So they got or at least without reaching. So they got Jermaine Johnson from the Jets, and I thought that was an even trade for both teams. And so now you have Tennessee needing a lot of help on defense. They could still take an edge rusher. Like if one of Bailey or Reese gets to them, I think that'll probably be the pick. But let's just say they're both off the board. So who do they take? They could take. I think they have to go best player available. And for me, I think it's either Sonny Styles or Caleb Downs. And given what we saw today, I think Sonny Styles goes there. It's not like Tennessee is a great group of players at linebacker. They're not that bad, but they could certainly use an upgrade there, as well as many other defensive positions. Their defense was awful last year, so having a just a freak of an athlete in the middle of their defense to help improve everything, I think that would be a huge boon for their defense. So I think Tennessee at this point, you have to say that Sonny Styles might be the favorites to go there if both Bailey and Reese are off the board. So let me know what you think. Who do you think which teams do you think are going to take Sonny Styles, Arvell Reese, and David Bailey after all 3 had great combine performances? Let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, please hit like, subscribe, share this video, and visit walterfootball.com for tons of free NFL content, new content every single day. And I'll talk to you in the next video.